I'm going to do a quick video and we're going to take a look at a Brazilian model 1908/34 rifle in 30-06. The reason I'm making this video is I haven't seen one of these rifles in a long time, and I'm taking this to a gun show to sell for a friend. And I remember when these came in back in the late 80s, when they were dumping all their old bolt-action rifles, all these countries. And this one's a little bit unusual, because we all know Brazil used a 7mm caliber until they went like to the .308 and chambered their rifles in that when they adopted the FNFAL. That was like the popular thing, but most South American countries fielded 7mm bolt-action rifles for years. Now this one's made in 30-06. So, as the story goes, and this is what I was told by a dealer, there was some sort of political deal between the United States and Brazil way back in the 30s, where Brazil agreed to send troops somehow. What the details are or whatever, I don't know. But they were going to send a contingent of troops to fight with the U.S. military in World War II, and they designed and manufactured a rifle that they could integrate into the system in 30-06. So they had a rifle and they could arm troops if they sent supposedly to support the U.S. that could use the ammunition and just go right into the supply chain, so you didn't have the ammunition problem. Now this is the story I was told. How true it is, I don't know. And if you go on the internet or whatever, you can't find anything about this rifle really in any detail other than people selling them. There's no history, there's no write-up about it. And that's what I heard verbally over 35 years ago. And you find little footnotes in guidebooks, but there's no explanation to this gun or the purpose of it. So you have to kind of just, that's all I know. How true it is, I don't know. That's the information I got 35 years ago when these things first come out. So let's take a look at it. It's your basic 98 Mauser style rifle. It's got a disc in the back there on the stock, steel butt plate. I don't know if anything was written on this disc. No, it doesn't look like it. Now what confuses a lot of people is this kind of looks like a Czech style rifle. I guess the stock and everything, the handguard, the sights, but it's not. This gun was, I believe, manufactured in Brazil, even though it kind of looks somewhat like a Czech style gun. Here's the front sight and that on there. I don't know if that's the original cleaning rod. It takes a 98 style bayonet of some sort. That's, you know, just like the lug in that, and the front thing, the front barrel band, and you got your hook, so your sling has that little metal thing that you could go and parade or whatever. One band, and there's your rear sight, which you see, this is what confuses people a lot. This looks like a Czech built rifle, like a VZ-24 or something, which may have been designed along the same lines. I don't know. They could have had an engineer, somebody over there. So when we look at the receiver, try to get the camera to focus. Come on, come on. You got the Brazilian crest on there. Then on this side, you got your markings. Oh, this don't want to focus at all. There we go. Model 08-3430. That's your markings. There's a good look at the crest. Now that I got this the right distance to focus, may need a new camera. And it's a standard 98 action. It has a bent bolt handle, and it's just your standard Mauser style action. Now let's look at the other side. Okay, on this side of the receiver is the serial number. As you can see, this one was stored somewhere where there's rust. And it says there that it was fabricated, there if you can see it, in Brazil. So this gun was manufactured in Brazil, probably specifically for this variation, which is in 30-06 caliber. There was another type of little short rifle they had. They had a U.S. crest on the receiver, little tiny carbines that were also in 30-06. I never bought one. I don't really quite know much about them either. And from what I've seen, the reason I'm making this video is from what I've seen on the internet, there's not a lot of information. People don't read books or have any kind of memory, so if you can't find it in a damn Google search, it's like lost to time. But that's kind of what this is. And I remember when they came in all those years ago. Now it has this sling on there. Yeah, see, that's the correct sling. This thing here, you got the quick detach down here, where what you would do is flip that off, just like on a Mauser. Go up here to the trigger guard, and then this here would attach to the hook here like this. And that way you could get your sling tightened up. Also, this thing, I remember mine had the same thing. There's some sort of an identity ring or something that was placed on here. I remember mine had it on there and I cut it off after I bought it. So, that's it. Well, I hope for those of you who run across one of these guns and can't figure out what it is, like I said, this was some kind of a weapon that was manufactured in Brazil. Okay? And the story goes, it was done because that way the Brazilian government can send troops to be allies with the U.S. How true that is, or the details of this, I have no idea. But it is a rifle variation, okay, and it was manufactured in Brazil. Like I said, it goes along the lines of CZ manufactured, a Czech manufactured rifle. So maybe they had an engineer there helping them out. I don't know. Well, that's my take on this, and I hope it helps some of you that have trouble identifying this kind of unusual gun.